been a while since I've been on here, but I don't just like to come on just to like talk and just to, make videos to be making them. Basically, when I come on, I want to be able to allow the Divine Mother and uh, the Elohim to use me in the way that they would like for me to be used. Okay, so anyway, and a lot of times, like to keep on repeating the same stuff, there's a lot of stuff out there right now. So, repetition is good, don't get me wrong. Repetition is good, however. Um, sometimes it gets a little bit convoluted out there, and a lot of things are very confusing. But what I want to do here is give you some things prophetically. My name is Dr. Judson B. Powell III. I have a PhD in theology and in ministry. I've run ministries. I've worked for ministries. I've done media campaigns for ministries. I've done a lot of stuff in ministry, but I am not a Christian. I want you to know that before we get started. I am a Kemetic priest. So the way that I teach is from the Metanetter, also from the papyrus, and also from other books, mainly the Papyrus of Anai, and also the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is also the Papyrus of Anai, is what they call the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And the reason why in the 1920s they changed the names of these books was because, of course, what? They didn't want you to read them. So I'm going to tell you to read them as soon as you can because there's a lot of information and a lot of wisdom that's not convoluted by all of the stuff that's been put into the world since the origins of all of these spiritual systems. So that's one of the first things. The second thing is if you are concerned about like what's going on, first of all, the only thing that's really going on is that we are either at in between or we're either at or in between the change of the new age going from Pisces into Aquarius, and knowing the right now we're starting to get the Aquarius water bearer refresh energy. We're also getting the revelatory energy. That's another thing. Everything will be revealed. No more secrets. No more this, that, and the other thing. Everything is basically 100% at this point out in the open. If it's not out in the open, it will be out in the open. And I did some videos and stuff like that, and they're in my YouTube. You can go through if you want to. If this resonates with you, go through and find out. But so you have the change of the season. I mean, not the change of the age, not the season, but the change of the age. And within the change of the age, now we're starting to get bumps in the orbit, because we're all stardust and all of that kind of stuff. So we're starting to get bumps in the orbit. That's why all of these things are happening, and then most of it hinges and pivots upon the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy, and it's funny because it has been taken away for literally thousands of years. Okay, so they knew that they were also astrologers and wizards and all of that kind of stuff. So they knew like that this would eventually happen when they got to the change of the age. And so now they understand because of correspondence, the law of correspondence, the law of balance, those type of things. Eventually, whenever there's an action, this is just physics, there's an equal or opposite reaction. Okay, so what we are now, we're in the resistance. We're in the resistance to the change. That's where we are, and we're losing. And so what it is that the masculine energy, the negative masculine energy, by the way, has been dominating for for thousands of years. Okay, and especially in this country, this country has never run outside of that energy. It is stolen from other spiritual systems, including Kemet and Tibet. However, they took the knowledge, the esoteric knowledge and the metaphysical knowledge, and they hid it and buried it away from everybody else and told you, oh, this is evil, it's demonic, it's whatever, it's whatever. But no, that's not true, because they took it and they used it to gain power and control over what it is they wanted. All right. So that's where we are. We're in the change of the age from Pisces, okay, to Aquarius, the water bearer. And water, whenever you look most of the time in scripture, or, and I'm not talking about any particular book, but anytime in any type of religious books, 9 times out of 10, when you see water, it signifies new life, and that type of thing. So that's why we're going, and then we're going, and so that's where we're going. We're going into new life, resurrection, those type of things. And so the old system, because it can't exist and it can't coexist with what's going to happen, it's being taken out. And that's why I keep telling everybody, like karma, things like karma against people that go against the energy, it's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. There, if you go against the energy, and the energy is what? Is the primordial energy, the primordial feminine mother nurturer energy, is anything that's hurting her children, she's going to get rid of it. So, and don't be so, so quick to judge, like, because a lot of this stuff is going to happen. And just like right now, we're in a delusional period. Like, things are happening and they don't seem, they seem kind of surreal. It's like, the whole thing with that assassination, all of that kind of stuff. And everybody wanted to say it was one group of people that was doing it, but the people that they're trying to say that are violent, those are not the violent people. Why? Because those are the people that they're calling liberals, or the people that they're calling this, that, and the other thing. These are the people that are the divine mothers. That's their guard. And so now, and I want to show this to you about how it's going down. All right. So if you look, so they're trying to suppress, once again, they want to make sure that they suppress the divine feminine, and they want to suppress the feminine energy, and they want to reassert the patriarchy and also misogyny and all of the residue of the patriarchy. So that's where we are, and that's what they're trying to do. And so here, even when the president took the east wing of the White House, what did it represent? It represented the feminine energy of the White House. So that's where the First Lady, her staff, etc., where she greeted other female dignitaries and all of that kind of stuff. It went on in that area. The same thing, the Rose Garden. Remember, paved over the Rose Garden. What's the Rose Garden is a symbolism of feminine energy. Let's go. We can keep it, and I can keep it going. The attacks against all of the brown and Latino women, no matter where they show up, whenever they show up, what do? They call them low IQ. They call them DEI hires. They all, you're a bad person. And and I'm just saying that's just brown people. But look, the same thing is true even with Caucasian women. And it's because this is not about race, creed, or color. It's about energy. You got to understand. So every time they could, the governor of Maine was sitting in that room with the president, and he asked her, was she going to support him? Da 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 da. She said no, and he said, you better. If you don't, I'm going to take everything away from you, right? And she said, okay, I'll see you in court. You see what I'm saying? Attack. They take away. They take away DEI. And the thing about DEI, once again, they made it seem like it was a racial issue. It's not. DEI is not a racial issue. DEI is a white woman's issue. because most of the black women that are, and once again, most of the black women, they're already qualified. So most of them didn't get where they were, and as a DEI or whatever you want to call affirmative action, whatever you want to call it, or whatever you want to come out and say, right? Okay. So now that's another attack against women. All right. The other, and all of those programs. Remember when they came in with the economic empowerment programs, economic empowerment zones, all of that stuff, right? Well, when all of that was going on, economic influence, economic empowerment zones, what was happening? The entire time, those loans and those grants were going to white women. They were not going to black women. The majority of those loans and those startups went to white women, and a lot of them, what they were doing is they were getting married, and their husbands were actually the ones that were running the businesses, and they were just putting them in their wives' names. So it benefited, far and beyond, it benefited Caucasian women more than any other group of women. Okay, then the next thing is, if you notice, when the ICE attacks are out there, and I've been and I'm, this is not conspiracy. This is what I've been seeing. This is what I see in the news feeds and in everything. Most of those ICE raids and everything, or the thing when they attack women. They you very rarely see them like trying to, and I think part of it may be that they're just trying to, incite, because somebody sees a woman get hit or whatever, and if they're a compassionate person, they're going to try to protect her. So all they're trying to do is add fuel to the fire. All right, but it's a woman. But once again, it's a woman thing. And then the big one is the overturn of Roe v. Wade. Right, so they overturn Roe v. Wade. They take away a woman's reproductive rights. Right, she no longer. I think it was North Carolina, where they already had a case where they made a woman carry a child to term, and she lost her life trying to carry the child to term. You see what I'm saying? And both of them are, as far as I know, both of them are deceased now. So you see what I'm saying? And she should have had the right to be able to make, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. I'm pro-life. I think, look, I'm going to tell you, one thing I tell you is, like, I'm pro-life. This, what I wear on my body and what I have tattooed on my body, right? This is life. This is the ankh of life. This is the feminine part. This is the this is the part of the feminine energy. This is the male energy, right? That's all I'm trying to tell you. Is like, look, understand that this is about trying to attack life. And if you look at it, who takes away, think about it, discern, who takes away food from children, and who does that hurt? Who does that hurt? If you take away food, from people, it's going to basically, because the mother is the nurturer. The mother is the nurturer of the children. Don't you think that'll destroy, that's above and beyond being able to destroy women. So with all that being said, understand what this war is about. It's not about money. It's not about politics. It's not about any of that, really. It's about trying to keep that feminine energy out of the way. And I just want to, and a little caveat to this, in the Vatican, they actually go and they pray and they worship the Black Madonna and child, mother and son, just like the Masonic. Same thing, nothing different. So understand that this is about trying to strike down that feminine energy again, so that they can contain and keep power and control over everything. Because if you can control, look, if you can make, like, I can indoctrinate you into religion. They already got y'all indoctrinated into religion. All they got to do is now take control over your womb, and they control you 100% completely. It's about trying to destroy women. Wake up, men. wake up and protect our women.